All right, so what do you have going on in your life you want to share with The Bert Show? You could always hit us up at thebertshow.com. Now, in this case, she is ready to leave her husband, but she's really worried about it because she's also his employee, okay? Man, I know that there are a lot of couples that just refuse to work together for reasons like this right here. The email reads, "Good morning, Bert Show.
Morning.
I'm a P1 and listen to you guys every day. If you don't know what a P1 is, then you ain't one. You guys bring me joy and laughter, but now I need your help too. I need the advice of a lawyer that might be listening to this, and I need it fast. I need to leave my husband, but I'm in a situation where I've come to depend on him more than the average wife, as I'm also his employee." All right, so I'm waiting for the phone lines to clear the other calls. So we need an attorney here. We have 2 cars that are both in his name only, but the house and the bills that go along with the house are in my name. I previously had a great paying job and covered almost everything for years so he could get to the point where he was able to open up this business. It's also how I purchased a home on my own a year and a half ago, but his name is on the deed. So I guess that means he owns half of it while I'm solely responsible for the mortgage payment. We agreed that I would leave my previous job to work part-time with him and be able to have time for our son's busy sports schedule. My fear is that if I leave him, he'll fire me immediately and leave me with no income and no way to pay for anything. His business is booming and he makes great money with the opportunity to grow his income exponentially until he retires. So my questions are, and again, if you're an attorney, 1-855-BERT-SHOW, is there anything that prevents him from firing me as retaliation for the separation if we live in an at-will state?
Good question.
If I'm suddenly unemployed, would he be responsible for the bills and expenses and I wouldn't be able to afford because he fired me? And if we agreed that I would leave my previous job of 6 years to work with him, would he be responsible for alimony and child support upon divorce? Would I have any rights to his business or the profits, knowing that I helped tremendously to get him there and that we don't have a prenup? So thanks for your help.
That was going to be my question, is if there was a prenup, but they started this together. I mean, you know, it's his business, but she obviously went to great lengths to help him build this business. Oh,
I don't know.
Especially the fact that she is his employee. And I would, before having witnessed a friend go through a horrendous divorce, would be like, this is the mother of your children. Of course, you wouldn't fire her because she wants to separate or get divorced. I no longer believe that because I have seen the absolute worst come out in people when they are in the process of getting a divorce. And the things he has done and put her through, I don't put anything past anybody anymore.
Really? It's been that bad?
Oh my God, it's been so bad.
When you look at couples like that, don't you just think like, man, just a couple of years ago, you guys loved each other so much. And
where'd the love go, man?
Yeah, he was the best. You were the best. And this is what it's gotten down to, man, just after a couple of years.
And you think with kids involved, because they have kids involved, that, okay, yeah, you guys have your differences, you don't like each other, but you share kids together. And even if you don't want to be nice, this is still the mother of your children. So you would treat her with some sort of respect. Absolutely not.
I always find it ironic that when people stay together, a lot of times they'll do things for the kids. But when they're breaking up, it seems like that do things for the kids thing goes right out the window.
Right, which is the worst, man. When the parents take it out on the kids is the worst. I don't have an attorney lined up here, and we certainly are not equipped to answer this.
So if she were to go through with this tomorrow and tell him she wants a divorce, from what it sounds like after reading the email, what could happen is the 2 cars are in his name, so she could be without a car. He is her boss, and they live in an at-will state, so he could fire her. So she no longer has any vehicles, and she no longer has a job. However, all the bills and mortgage are in her name. So that means her credit could potentially be completely ruined because she doesn't have a way to pay any of the bills that are in her name.
Yep.
She could seriously be completely screwed.
All right, if we don't get an attorney to call here in the next 30 seconds, I'm just going to bail because honestly, I mean, we can't answer these things.
But if somebody wants to reach out to us, we can send your information to her so you can give her some guidance because obviously she's in a very, very, very tough spot.
It feels like it's going to be hard regardless, obviously, with whatever she chooses to do because of this situation. But maybe, and I know this won't be easy and not the ideal thing to do, but maybe she'd be better suited trying to set up her situation a little better by leaving the job before she actually goes in with the divorce.
You think these things, right? But when you're going through a divorce and your knee-jerk reaction is something like that, an attorney could say, no, that's exactly what you don't want to do. So you just don't know. Tommy?
All right, I got this attorney. She's been on the show before, Alice Benton, and I kind of filled her in, but you may need to fill in some of the gaps. But she can chime in.
Alice is her name?
Yes.
Hey, Alice.
Hey, good morning.
Thank you for calling. You are a divorce attorney?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were going to say no, but I stayed in a Holiday Inn yesterday. All right, Kristen, you want to go through this here real quick?
All right, so she wants to get a divorce, but her husband is her boss. Also, both cars are in his name. The bills are in her name, and the mortgage is in her name, but his name is on the deed of the house. And she quit her full-time job to work part-time in order to help him build his business, which is booming now.
Okay. All right. So what's the specific question you've got?
She wants to know if he could potentially fire her as retaliation for the separation because they live in an at-will state.
Okay. So, all right. Well, let me first say I'm not an employment lawyer, so I would send you to Cheryl Laguerre or Mr. Wolf. They could answer that question better.
Oh, I like an attorney whose last name is Wolf.
You know Steve Wolf. He's been on the show before.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah. Okay, so I can answer the divorce part of that. I would say if she's thinking about filing, file, because a standing order goes into place in every case, which means the bills keep getting paid. He can't take title out of her name or sell assets off, et cetera. So that sort of puts a freeze on everything with respect to him not being able to hide assets or not pay for her expenses. With respect to titling, if things were bought during the marriage, it doesn't really matter if the house is only in one person's name or the car only in one name. It's still marital property that can be divided.
Perfect. That's exactly what she needs. And then she wants to know, since she agreed to leave her previous job of 6 years to work with him, would he be responsible for alimony and child support upon divorce?
Okay, so it depends on who the custodial parent is. The non-custodial parent would pay the other parent child support, okay? Mm-hmm. So if that child lives primarily with mom, and that means like more than 50% of the time, then yes, he would owe child support. Alimony is going to depend upon how much she's making. I don't know how much of a salary he's paying her to work part-time. If she's probably north of $100,000, she might not be a candidate for alimony because she can probably support herself. If she's really cut her salary back and she needs money to make ends meet, then yes, she would be a candidate. I'd also like to see like how long they were married. And if he owns his own business, she's probably going to need to do a business valuation and see what the business is worth, and he may owe her some of his business.
Hey, Alice, we only have about 30 seconds here. I think there's a lot of issues here, but if she's emailing us, clearly she hasn't reached out to an attorney yet, and I don't know what their financial situation is, but if you're broke, right, and you want to leave your husband, what do you do in a case like that if you can't even afford an attorney?
Well, attorney fees are paid out of the marital funds, so you can still hire an attorney, and the attorney can file a motion to have your spouse pay for the attorney fees.
Gotcha. Okay. Appreciate it. Give your
file for divorce.
Your law office a little plug.
Oh, it's Benton Law here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Appreciate you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched? Well, you can get way more of The Bert Show on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your favorite podcast.